what is power? Not in the way we commonly think, not money, not armies, not control over others. Friedrich Nietzsche saw power not as something external, but something internal, something that pulses beneath life itself. He called it Wille zur Macht, the will to power. But what exactly did he mean? The will to power, the core of life. Nietzsche believed that every living thing, not just humans, is driven by a fundamental impulse, not to survive, but to expand, to grow, to assert, to overcome. This force, this will to become more, is what drives life forward. It is not the same as the desire for dominance or brute control. Rather, it is the creative force that fuels ambition, art, courage, strength, and transformation. For Nietzsche, the will to power was the essence of existence, more fundamental than Darwin's survival instinct, more radical than Schopenhauer's blind will. It is the will to shape the world in your own image. Power and the self. This is where Nietzsche gets personal. The will to power isn't just about life in general, it's about you. Every decision you make, to speak or stay silent, to obey or resist, to create or destroy, is an expression of how much power you are willing to claim. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Nietzsche believed that those who live without power, without purpose, without direction, fall into what he called resentment. They become bitter, they worship weakness, they condemn strength in others because they fear it in themselves. Enter the Übermensch. At the center of Nietzsche's philosophy of power is his most iconic and most misunderstood idea, the Übermensch, the overman. The Übermensch is not a tyrant, not a political leader, not a superhero. He is someone who has mastered himself. He creates his own values. He stands alone without need for religious tradition or public approval. The Übermensch embodies the highest expression of the will to power. He transforms suffering into strength. He dances with chaos. He says yes to life, even when it's hard, even when it's terrifying. Power, morality, and the herd. Nietzsche saw most people as part of what he called the herd values, safety over danger, obedience over courage, equality over excellence. To protect the herd, societies create morality systems that suppress individuality, passion, and strength. Nietzsche didn't believe in good and evil as universal truths. Instead, he believed in master morality and slave morality. Master morality values power, excellence, pride. Slave morality values humility, obedience, guilt. The will to power is about rising above slave morality and reclaiming the right to create values for yourself. The risk of real power. Nietzsche was not naive. He knew that power, real power, is dangerous. He warned that without self-mastery, the will to power can become cruelty, violence, madness. That's why discipline, reflection, and art are essential. Power must be shaped, not unleashed blindly. And in a world where many seek power only to control others, Nietzsche's message is radical. True power begins when you control yourself. Becoming who you are, the will to power, is a challenge, not a comfort. Nietzsche wants you to ask, what have you done with your pain? What have you created from your chaos? What part of you is still hiding, still afraid to emerge? Because for Nietzsche, to be powerful is not to be feared. It is to be free, to be honest, to be dangerously alive. Become who you are. Final thought. So when you hear power, don't think about status. Don't think about control. Think about becoming. Think about saying yes to life in all its struggle and glory. Nietzsche's will to power is not a philosophy of domination. It is a philosophy of creation, and it begins with you.